Americans don't even get affordable health care right now. What the fuck makes you think immigrants do? They're not trying to take away health care for immigrants, they're trying to take away health care for you.
Hey MAGA, I know we don't chat much, but I just wanted to do a quick check-in since the Medicaid cut information had been released. Now I know you guys don't like to admit that you use means-tested programs like Medicaid at far higher per capita rates than we do. But you know what? I don't want to fight about that right now. Instead, let's talk about your favorite subject, undocumented people, and the strain you believe that they put on our systems and resources. For the Boomer, Gen X, and Millennial MAGA out there, you may remember Pat Buchanan and Lou Dobbs railing against undocumented people for, among 65 other things, their use of ERs as their primary form of healthcare because they had no access to insurance to get any other healthcare, preventative or otherwise, through any other avenue. So in cities with higher undocumented populations, there were increased strains on emergency rooms because thanks to EMTALA, hospitals are essentially the only place where doctors are mandated to provide you emergency care regardless of your status, insurance, or ability to pay. But back to the Medicaid cuts. With the new regulations and restrictions being proposed by the Republicans, the conservative estimates are that over 8 million people will be kicked off of Medicaid. Other estimates are closer to 13 million. When those millions of people lose their health insurance and their ability to see preventative care doctors, who do you think they're going to go for their health care when things go wrong? If you said the ER, you'd be right. The already strained ERs will be filled by people with conditions that could have been prevented. That's a problem, and it might not feel like your problem until you remember that you don't get to choose which hospital your ambulance takes you to after that 3-car pileup, or after that heart attack at Applebee's. Pretty sure your family will be worried about the ER resource strain then. I don't know, you tell me.
So if illegals are getting free government health care, there would be a government registry of this, and it would be easy to kick everyone out. So why is ICE over budget and still can't find everyone? It's almost like these people are not getting free government health care. And it's almost like MAGA is either lying to everyone or ICE is incompetent, or both.
Undocumented immigrants in the United States cannot receive health insurance from Obamacare, from Medicaid, from Medicare. They are barred from doing so. And if you tell me, oh, but I know my tia, I primo, they're doing that illegally. That is illegal, okay? And the Republicans, all of the maggots, are saying that Democrats didn't want to vote on the spending bill that would have kept the government open because they're dying on the hill of giving health care to illegals. No, the reason the government is shutting down is because the Democrats refused to join a vote on the spending bill that would keep the government open, or would reopen it at this point. Why? Because MAGA wants to gut healthcare in this country for millions of people, even more than they already have. So what happens now? Hundreds of thousands of people in this country are furloughed, right? Federal workers are furloughed, meaning they are given unpaid leave, and whenever the government ramps back up, they're gonna come back to work. And aside from that, there are many other people who work in very essential jobs. For example, like air traffic control people. They are working right now with no pay. And they're gonna have to wait until all of this is sorted out to be able to receive retroactive pay. So no, Democrats aren't to blame. We have a Republican-controlled House, Senate, Supreme Court, presidency. They are in full control of what is happening in this country right now. And if they don't want to solve these things, the least Democrats can do is do this as protest. Force them to come to the table to make concessions on these topics that need concessions to be made. I actually have a good example of how healthcare works with undocumented immigrants. Stick with me. An uncle of mine lived here in the US, in Miami specifically, for many, many years. And one day he had a really, really gruesome workplace accident. We thought he quite literally died, right? He fell off a roof. And it was so bad that when they called the ambulance, the Jackson helicopter from Jackson Memorial Hospital here in Miami, they came to pick him up and took him all the way to Ryder Trauma. They did emergency surgery on him. They stabilized him, all that. Thankfully, he's still alive, right? He's living in Honduras now. But the thing is, that's all, right? They only stabilize people who are undocumented here in the US. If they want to get more healthcare, more, attention, medical attention, they need to either pay out of pocket or be in some kind of life or death situation where an ambulance or a doctor is not going to be like, oh, wait, you're undocumented? Yeah, let me not save your life because you're an illegal. That's not how things work, at least for now. in the United States. So yeah, if you are directly or indirectly affected, which I think we all are, by a government shutdown, you know who to blame. It's MAGA, it's Trump, and it's the Republican Party.
Trump, the Democrats got you messed up. They want you to send $200 billion to undocumented illegal immigrants so they can have access to free health care. While some Americans don't even have health care. Veterans out here are homeless, and some Americans don't even know how they're going to pay their bills. Now let's make America great again.